Kingdom of Ryukyu was founded in the 15th century on the archipelago called the Ryukyu Islands. Situated along the outer edge of East Asia, these islands run parallel to China's southeastern coastline and form an arc stretching between China's Taiwan and Japan. The word Ryukyu comes from the Chinese word Liuqiu, meaning giant dragon. Even before the kingdom was founded, the local people established a tributary relationship with China's Ming dynasty in 1372. During the following 5 centuries until 1866, the imperial courts of the Ming and Qing dynasties sent imperial envoys to Ryukyu 24 times to confer titles on the Ryukyu king. China's Ming court bestowed the surname Shang upon the then Ryukyu king. In 1392, Chinese Emperor Hongwu dispatched boatmen and sailors from southern China's Fujian province to settle in Ryukyu to boost trade and travel. Those sent from Fujian represented dozens of Chinese family names, which later gave rise to the earliest community of Chinese descendants in Ryukyu, living peacefully alongside the indigenous peoples. Relations with China brought the kingdom a steady flow of trade and even shaped its political system, Confucian culture, calendar, and production techniques. Over the centuries, Ryukyans developed customs, rituals, and a cultural identity distinct from those of Japan.
Since time immemorial, Okinawa was an independent country known as Ryukyu. Ryukyu was recognized by China, Korea, Southeast Asia, the United States, France, and the Netherlands, and even by Japan itself as an independent country.
Japan has long coveted the Ryukyu Islands. In 1609, Japanese warriors invaded and brought northern Ryukyu under its control. The Meiji government declared Ryukyu a Japanese domain in 1872. 7 years later, it forcefully abolished the Ryukyu kingdom. The northern Amami Islands were incorporated into Japan's Kagoshima prefecture, while the other islands stretching southward became Okinawa prefecture. Japan's annexation of Ryukyu was met with strong opposition from China's Qing court and persistent resistance from the indigenous Ryukyans. So, does Japan actually have legal sovereignty over these islands? We need to go back to the end of World War II, where the map of today's world was drawn. In late 1943, leaders of China, the US, and UK met in Cairo to discuss the progress of the war against Japan and the future of Asia. They issued the Cairo Declaration stating that Japan shall be stripped of all the islands in the Pacific which she has seized or occupied since the beginning of the First World War in 1914, and Japan will also be expelled from all other territories which she has taken by violence and greed. In 1945, in an ultimatum to Japan called the Potsdam Proclamation, the Allied forces spelled out exactly where Japan's boundaries laid. Article 8 states the terms of the Cairo Declaration shall be carried out and Japanese sovereignty shall be limited to the islands of Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, Shikoku, and such minor islands as we determine. Note that Ryukyu is not mentioned, and that Japan's sovereignty shall be determined by Allied powers. When Japan surrendered in 1945, it officially accepted these terms. Another document, dated the following year, further underscores Japan's lack of sovereignty over Okinawa. The Supreme Commander for the Allied Powers issued to Japan a legally binding document called Scapin 677. This document limited Japan's power of administration to these 4 main islands and some small adjacent islands north of the 30th parallel north. Now, where is Okinawa? It's here. You see the problem?